Hi, Colton. So, if I'm a little more derpy than usual today, it's because I just got off of the road coming back from Rapid. I had to go pick up Michael and Alex for the 4th of July. And I just ate and drank, and so I'm a tired fat kid today. I wanted to make some comments about your video since you beat me to uploading it. First off, Dizzy's hair is fucking amazing and I hate him in a way that means that I love him. And you are freaking adorable, being all like, I have to show you something. I forgot. So, like, amazing that you're fucking, like, assistant manager. So, what's the difference between when you were just a worker there and now you're the assistant manager? What kind of, like, more responsibilities and freedoms do you have? You know, I'm just so glad that we're doing this project because we went from seeing each other every day and talking every day to not seeing each other at all and barely talking because we are so consumed by what we're both doing. I guess this video is just going to kind of be an update about my summer and some of the things you may already know, but you're going to listen to me anyway because you love me. Because if you skip, I'll fucking kill you. So first off, this summer has been pretty much drama-free. I mean, there's a little bit, but it's not like last year where supposedly I was a stuck-up bitch who was fucking everyone and pregnant. Wow, I must have really changed since then. Say hello to Fluffy! For the most part, what I'm doing is just hanging out with friends and working my ass off. So let's talk about my friends. Like, most of them you already know. First off, there is Jamie. She's like the most badass chick that we know. Her and I were bunking for a while because she missed living in town and her parents allowed her to stay at Aunt Vicky's. But then she started to miss living at the farm, so then she went back. But it was great because I finally had like a girl to steal clothes and makeup from, and I am so not used to that. But I beat her up a lot in my sleep, I guess. I was very violent. I mean, when you're having dreams about bugs eating you alive and people chopping you up into little bits, I'm pretty sure that makes you aggressive in your sleep. She's still doing rodeos. She's still working at runnings. It's funny, the first week I got down here, she was pole dancing and she wanted to see me pole dance. So we're all on Main Street in the middle of the night and I'm like trying to be sexy and pole dance and I whacked my fucking face on her. It hurt like a bitch. And that was also the night that I caught my hair on fire when I was trying to light a cigarette. She also pushed me off of a horse. We were double riding bareback on Sugar, which is her tiny little palomino. And Sugar couldn't figure out if she wanted to go up a ditch or not. And so my weight started to shift, Jamie's weight started to shift, and then we both fell over. Well, she was trying to help me back up since there weren't any... You know, I just forgot the word. So those things on a saddle that help you up. So she was pushing me up, and she didn't realize how light I am, and she pushed me fucking off with Sugar. Granted, Sugar wasn't moving, and she's tiny, but it still hurt like a bitch. Then there's Dakota. I've been hanging out with him a lot, and mostly we play Battlefield, which, if you don't know what that is, that's like Call of Duty. And now I'm gonna have, like, Call of Duty and Battlefield fanboys and girls, like, chewing me out, being like, oh, no, it's not! It's amazing. I suck at it. I'm not very good at killing people or staying alive or climbing up ladders or stairs. But it's great. But it's funny because whenever I go out with Dakota in the middle of the night, we always get stopped by McDowell if he's on duty because Dakota is, to quote him, a suspicious-looking person. We went to the park. We got pulled over by McDowell the minute we stepped foot on the property. And he said, you kids know that it closes at 11, right? And we're like, it's 10:15. He's like, but it closes at 11. Okay. When I was with Michael last year, we never got stopped. We were at the park at 2 o'clock in the morning and nobody gave two shits. And Dakota is like one of the most innocent friends I have. He doesn't do weed, he doesn't drink, he doesn't get into fights, he doesn't steal. He sits at his house and plays video games or goes walking around and just kind of like avoids people. Then there's Samantha, and she's pretty awesome. Like, I was kind of nervous of re-meeting her. You know me and meeting people that I'm not really familiar with. But she's awesome, and we have a ton of shit we're supposed to do before she, like, goes back to Texas, or she's going somewhere. I don't remember. Like, she lives in Texas. But she's in the color guard, and she was showing us how to do tricks with her rifle one day. And she was like, oh yeah, that sucked. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, bitch, please. If I tried doing that, I would hit myself in the face. You didn't suck. And there's Hannah. You did meet Hannah. She is awesome, and she got a job at the ranch house. Her and Sierra did. And she's, like, giving me all her old clothes that she doesn't want anymore. And guess what size of jeans I got from her that I can fit my ass into? Size 4. Booyah. Be jealous. Granted, Sally calls me anorexic every time I go over to her house, but hey, I still have tits. And then there's Sierra, and she's making me a bracelet for the summer, which I guess is already made, but she hasn't given it to me. And we're supposed to go on the Ferris wheel during the carnival this year, which is actually this week. And then there's AJ. He's the only friend I have that is, like, over the age of 18. And if you hear someone, that's Michael and other people coming up. And we don't get to hang out much because he does a lot of work, and then when he's home, he sleeps. And then when he's not home, he's out cruising around. But I have gone swimming with him, and we watched this movie called The Sitter. It's so fucking hilarious. And the other day, I was sifting through Hannah's clothes that she was giving me, and there was, like, this pile of underwear. And so I yelled out to Sally. I was like, Mama, is Hannah giving away her underwear too? Fucking AJ was like, Amber, if you wear Tiny's underwear, I'm sorry, but I can never talk to you again. And I'm actually going to have to go see if he can get the cap off my oil thing on my car. I was going to put in oil before I headed back to Gregory. I was trying to be all badass and manly about it, but then I fucking broke a nail. And I was like, that's it, I'm done. They were long, and now look how stubby they are. Do you know how hard it is to fucking type and text with these things? I sound like a total chick right there, I'm so sorry. And there's my job. I'm a waitress at a place called the Corner Cafe, and believe me, I have heard every joke that exists about working on the corner. Actually, that was the last place I applied to. I even went to McDonald's in winter, and everyone told me, oh, when you apply to McDonald's, you get hired. I didn't get a fucking call back, which I guess is okay, because the Corner Cafe is amazing. I work with some great people. Like, Charity is usually the main cook when I work, and she's so funny, because sometimes there's miscommunication, because I'm still trying to figure out how to write the ticket. And one day, there were 2 kids who wanted chicken strips each. So I wrote down 2 chicken strips. And she thought I meant, like, for the order to have 2 chicken strips. So then I had to go back and be like, no, this is what I meant. So then she thought I meant there just was an extra order of chicken strips on 1 plate. And I was like, Charity, this is what I meant. And she was like, oh my god, I'm done for today. I'm leaving. You guys can just do it all. But she was, like, laughing and stuff like that. And I was like, oh my god, Charity, I'm so sorry. And there's Mary Sosby, who is John Sosby's mother, and she is awesome. And then there is Brandy, who is going to be a freshman in high school this year. And she doesn't work very often because she has, like, volleyball to practice. But the other day was so funny because we had seen Madagascar 3 a couple weeks ago, so we're sitting in the cafe filling up ketchup bottles and wrapping silverware, and there's the customers inside, and we're all like, da 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 circus, da 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 Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro polka dot Afro. She's so much fun to work with, and Shonda works sometimes there too, and I don't really know her that well. I haven't worked with her too often, but she's pretty awesome too. And then there is Deanna. And she's the lady that I work most with. And she is, like, kick-ass. Like, she works at a tax office, she works at the cafe, and then she farms. And she brings in this bucket every day because she has, like, 20 cats that live in a barn. And she fills it with the scraps from people's plates, and she takes it home, and the cats eat it. And then there's Seth. He comes in and he cleans, and he's flipping hilarious. One day, like, our soda was slowly going out. And he's like, it's just all gonna go one by one. And I'm like, not the Mountain Dew, I need it. And he's like, even the Mountain Dew. And then Tracy is my boss. I call her Superwoman because she is kick-ass. Like, there is no other way to describe it. Like, this lady has been so kind to me, so patient. She cooks, she waitresses when I'm being slow. She rebuilds the apartments that are up above the cafe. She is a bam. I love my job, I just feel like I fucking suck at it so much. Like, I'm way better than I was, like, the first week that I worked there, but I still make so many mistakes. And so, you know how dramatic I am. I sit there and I'm like, oh my fucking god. You know, I'm trying so hard, and I am so, like, interactive with the customers, and anytime I make a mistake, I try to correct it and I apologize for it, and everyone seems to like me. But watch, because I suck so hardcore at this, Tracy just look at me and be like, "You're fired, get out." But apparently, no, she's not going to, because she just called me and asked me if I could work at 8 tomorrow instead of 8:30. When you think about me, do you think about 17? Something about an old truck, looking at the stars in the sky. Funny how a melody sounds like a memory, like a soundtrack to a hot summer July night. I've got lots of friends down here, and I've got an amazing job, and I wish I could stay. I know you'd rather have me move up to a small town in Colorado, but this is where my heart is. But I love you, Yuanfen, and I don't even know if we're like saying that correctly. But if anyone can correct me on it, do it, because then I will be like madly in love with you. So, I love you, and I'll see you later. I need to get to editing this and then uploading it at the bowling alley before your happy ass beats me to uploading another video.